Turkey essentially averted a very severe political crisis. Had the AKP, the ruling party, the Justice and Development Party, had been closed, you would have, and the Prime Minister banned, Turkey would have gone into a very uncertain future. Never before had a party of this size, of this importance, been banned by the Constitutional Court. The Constitutional Court has banned many parties, but this was the first time a governmental party would be banned. So it was really uncharted territory, and I think at the last minute, people kind of thought about it and decided not to ban the party, but they came very, very close. And had they done it, it would have been essentially a military coup through other means. This was a wake-up call for the ruling party. It had kind of fallen into slumber, and he needed to be woken up. And the court case may have done that, but it is a party that needs a major reshuffling of its personnel. It needs to revamp the cabinet. It needs to bring in far more women into the cabinet. And it needs to bring some new and fresh ideas. It cannot go on doing the same thing over and over again. It has to start again. And in some respects, maybe the court case has helped the party. But a lot of time was wasted during this crisis, a time when major decisions had to be taken. But I also think that the crisis is not over, because what the crisis ultimately revealed was that there are two poles, if you want, in Turkey. There is a pole that is conservative, maybe more religious, but at the same time anti-military. And this poll also includes liberal Democrats who don't want the military to intervene. And then you have a secular establishment that is circling the wagons and looks at the military as its savior, and thinks that if it wasn't for the military, the system would collapse. Civil-military relations in Turkey are a problem, and they're a problem for Turkey in two respects. They're a problem in terms of Turkish democracy, and they're a problem with respect to Turkey's application to the European Union, because Turkey is not going to get into the European Union as long as the military plays such an important role in Turkish politics. A lot of European countries are very reluctant to take Turkey in because of its size, because of potential migration problems, identity issues, but also the fact that its democratic system has not evolved sufficiently for Europe. And there's not much Turkey can do about fears such as migration or identity, but it can do something about the democracy issue. The more Turkey democratizes, the more attractive it will become to the Europeans. Or put it another way, the more it democratizes, the more difficult it will be for the Europeans to use democracy as a reason to deny Turkey entry into the European Union. So it is critical for Turkey to democratize, to change the constitution, to civilianize the military if it wants to make progress towards the European Union. The Turks have been very, very worried about northern Iraq and about the emergence of the Kurdish state, and they're worried that Kurdish state may one day become independent. It may become independent because the Kurds want it, or it may become independent because Iraq falls apart. Either way, it's for Turkey, who thinks of this as a model, who thinks that it potentially may become a model for its own Kurds. This is a disaster scenario. But in the process, what they have done is that they continue to alienate both Iraqi Kurds and Turkish Kurds by taking a very hard line against the Iraqi Kurds. This government, to its credit, has been trying to change policy, but has been blocked again by the military. And again, you see the civil-military tensions playing themselves out in foreign policy, where the military doesn't want to make many concessions to the Iraqi Kurds, certainly not to domestic Turkish Kurds. But the government understands that it has to move, it has to relax a little bit the policy, and has tried to make overtures towards the Iraqi Kurds. So there is, and this has been the most important dividing issue between the United States and Turkey, because if there's one aspect of the Iraq war that the Turks hate the most, is northern Iraq. and they think that the United States has deliberately gone into Iraq to create this Kurdish state and then divide up Turkey. There has to be some dialogue between Turkey and the United States and the Iraqi Kurds and the Iraqi government, the four of them, in order to work out some of these problems. Otherwise, pull out from Iraq will be very, very difficult, and the Turks will find themselves more and more engaged in northern Iraq, and that's not good for us, and it's not good for the Turks.